So there are a couple of stocks out there right now that are finally starting to break out after a couple of weeks, which felt like months, to be honest, of being in a downtrend. So we're going to break down these group of stocks in this video and, of course, talk about why they're breaking out, where I could see them going, and I'm going to go over what I'm looking to do. So if y'all find value, of course, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo, link down below. Once you open up an account, you get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares, totaling 5 free shares of stock. And listen to this, if you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. So if you guys want some free money, who doesn't like free money, and you want to help out the channel, use that link down below. And now let's dive into it. So you guys probably know what group of stocks here I'm talking about, and these stocks are the energy stocks, guys. Energy stocks are doing very well today as we have crude oil. Let's start off there, then we'll break down why crude oil is breaking out. Then we'll get into these stocks. Crude oil right now is up over $80 a barrel. It is up 6.5% after just being at $64 a barrel just a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, oil was at 64 a barrel. And if I zoom in here, you guys can see this massive move from 64 a barrel all the way up to $80, over $80 a barrel. That's a move of 25% in just about 2 weeks. That is no joke, guys. We went from being in a downtrend, getting destroyed in oil. Now it's starting to reverse. We're above the moving averages, and we're actually back towards the top of that range that we were trading in for a couple of months. You guys can see here, oil was between 83 to about 70 a barrel from the beginning, middle of November, pretty much all throughout the, let's see here, the middle of March. So we're talking in 4 months. Throughout 4 months, we were trading in this range. Then we got down to 64 a barrel, like I said, so we clearly broke that range, and now we're back in it, you know, trading at the top of the range. And let me tell you guys, if oil starts breaking out of 83 a barrel, this could really start to take off. I'm talking mid-high 80s, maybe even back to the 90s. I think Goldman Sachs, or one of the big, big firms out there, had a price target of 95 a barrel on oil for this year or something like that. So that could come to fruition, no doubt about it, if we start to break that 83, 85 level here on the chart. So let's break down exactly why oil is ripping from a fundamental perspective, and it all comes down to OPEC announcing surprise oil production cuts that obviously could lead to higher prices of oil, which then is going to lead to higher prices at the pump, which you guys know gas prices have gone down a good amount. They were well over $4 a gallon at one point, then they went to $3, at least where I'm at, and now who knows, the prices could go right back to $4. Probably not back to $4, but they could creep back to the mid threes, depending on, of course, where you live in the United States. So on Sunday, we got a surprise move from OPEC here that entails cuts of about 1.15 million barrels per day, which is also known as BPD. Keep that in mind, guys, barrels per day. And this was led by Saudi Arabia, Iraq, however you want to say that, United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Energy said in a statement the production cut is, quote, a precautionary measure aimed at supporting the stability of the oil market. And the move will likely cause oil prices to rise as output falls, which in turn would have a negative effect on consumers as gasoline prices increase. Average gas prices right now in the U.S. have ticked up about 13 cents over the last month to about $3.50 a gallon, according to AAA. And of course, that's the average. If you're in California, you're probably still paying over $5 a barrel, or not a barrel, a gallon. Let me know in the comments, guys, for all of you out there in California, how much gas, or how much are you paying for a gallon of gas? Here in New Jersey, last I checked, which was yesterday, you know, I think it was at U.S. Gas or whatever the heck the gas station was, they're charging $3.15 a gallon, something like that. If you're looking at, you know, maybe like a Lukoil, or, you know, it's probably like $3.30 a gallon. It's right in that range, $3.15 to about $3.30 a gallon for oil, at least here in New Jersey. And you guys can see right here, the 5 OPEC members will make the largest cuts to their oil production, with Saudi Arabia cutting 500,000 barrels per day, Iraq cutting 211,000, UAE cutting 144,000, Kuwait cutting 128,000, and Algeria cutting roughly 48,000 barrels per day. And the two OPEC Plus countries participating in the output reduction include Kazakhstan and Oman, however you say that. Honestly, I don't know how to say that. They'll cut roughly 78,000 and 40,000 barrels per day, respectively. So in other words, guys, simple supply and demand. They're cutting supply, they're cutting production as demand still remains pretty high. You could argue demand's increasing now as we're heading into the summer months, and this is going to cause upwards pressure in the price of oil. It makes complete sense. And let me actually come down a little bit more here. Let's see. Russia also previously announced a unilateral production cut of 500,000 barrels per day in February through the end of the year after Western countries imposed a price cap of $60 per barrel on Russian oil as part of a sanctions package stemming from the invasion of Ukraine. So that's also had upwards pressure, no doubt about it, on the price of oil. So that in a nutshell, guys, is what is causing this big price spike in oil right now. Again, it's currently up about 6%, back in that range between 70 to 83 a barrel, and now we're at the top of the range, and we might be breaking out any day now above that $83 a barrel level. So what stocks are moving? Let's talk about some of these guys. Number one that I want to get into is Occidental Petroleum, ticker symbol OXY. This is currently up about 5% on the day, back in the mid-60s per share, you guys can see, and we're finally starting to break out of this downwards channel, which if I extend to the right, you'll be able to see it. We're breaking out of that channel, we're above the moving averages, and now we're at a multi-week high. We're not yet above the highs from the beginning of February, late January, but we are again above the moving averages, above the wedge, or not the wedge, the downwards channel. Now we're about to test that high from end of January, February, being about 67 a barrel. If that's able to break, which right now I think could happen, or I said per barrel, I meant per share. You guys know what I mean. If 67 could break on Oxy here, guys, this could really take off towards the 70s again. We can see back in August, September, November, we were in the mid-high 70s, low 70s. That's where this thing could be going. So Occidental Petroleum is starting to break out. I'm noticing a momentum shift here, and I'm seeing the same thing on ExxonMobil. Let me pull that up. XOM's the ticker. This is up over 6% so far on the day. Now we're starting to break out towards 115, 120 bucks a share, which you guys can see. That's been a big resistance stemming back from November. You can see in November we failed there multiple times. December, January, February, March, you name it. So now we're starting to break out above the moving averages towards that point. Exxon, I'm telling you guys, if it breaks 120, we're probably going to see a fresh high, at least here on the 4-hour chart. By the looks of, how the charts are looking, the way oil's trending, that's where this is. That's where this could be going, in my personal opinion. And let me see, what's the all-time high on Exxon? I actually forget now that I'm thinking about it. Let me pull up the max chart. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty much at all-time highs. Yeah, so this could go to a fresh all-time high by the looks of it any day now, as it does seem like it wants to break out any day now. Well, it actually already is breaking out, but momentum could be building up more and more in the Bulls' favor every single day, each day that goes on here, by the way the chart is looking. So Exxon's looking good. Oxy's looking good. Let's see what CVX is looking like. Let me pull this up, which is Chevron. This is also looking good. Look at that. We're breaking out of the 50 and the 180 SMAs for the first time here since February, early February, late January. So this is starting to break out of some key moving averages. And let me see, are we out of this channel quite yet? Doesn't look like we're out of this channel yet. Let me show you guys this, but we are now testing the top of this channel, which is right around 170, 175. If that does break here on Occidental, or not Occidental, Chevron, I'm mixing up the names here, guys. If we do break that 175 level, we break the channel, kind of like what we saw with Oxy. There could be a lot more upside on CVX, probably towards 180, 185, maybe even 190, which is where the stock was failing back in November, heading into the end of January. You guys can see that. So we could talk oil stocks all day, guys, but those are the key ones right now that I'm looking at. CVX, XOM, and Occidental Petroleum. And of course, there's a lot of other ones. Let me see off the top of my head. Devon Energy is another one that I like watching. DVN, this one's starting to do pretty well. I mean, it's not fully breaking out like some of the other ones are, but it is up 6% on the day right now. So keep your eyes on that one as well. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. The key level on oil, just to wrap up, again, is $83 a barrel. We're probably going to test that at some point this week. We might even break out of it. Time will tell. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, and feel free to check out my Patreon if you guys want to be a part of the Discord chat, you want to get my call outs throughout the day, and if you want to see my Patreon portfolio, you want more one-on-one access with me, that's linked down below. And if you haven't gotten up to 15 stocks yet for Moomoo, what are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares totaling 5 stocks. And if you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks totaling 15 free stocks. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, get your free stocks from Webull and from Moomoo, all those links are down below. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, peace out.